welcome. We're back. Another week. Another podcast.
Another not dollar.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Well, before we go any further, I just want to recognize and just shout out and hope that we're sending good vibes to everyone in Israel. And I mean, is it considered the whole Middle East at this point?
I think it's just the whole thing over there is just
awful.
It's just such a mess. So
anybody that's suffering, I
don't really care on what side.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't matter. It's all horrible. So
we're sorry. We know we're gonna try and entertain everybody as much as possible today, but we have to acknowledge that we are aware of the shit going on in the world. We're not tone deaf, and it's gonna try not to dwell on it too long because it's just too awful.
Mm-hmm.
But we're aware, and if anybody's got any fucking ideas of how to fix the world, bring it forward.
World peace.
That's what I've been writing down for manifesting for this solar eclipse of ours today. That I'm very confused of what time it's actually happening.
It's already done.
It's already
done, over with.
So it's already done here on this coast.
Yep.
But it's going to...
No, it's done.
Okay.
I think, from my understanding.
But
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Different times along each coast, I feel like. Because it's... Okay. So, wow.
It's... Because of how it's passing. I think it was how it passed. It was only a certain window.
Yeah.
So, saw some pretty cool pictures.
Did you?
Yeah, some people got some really... Despite the cloud cover, it's cloudy here. Go figure.
Well, we had a good couple days.
Kind of make bad viewing of the eclipse, I think, in certain spots. But some people got some pretty cool, like, long exposure pictures.
That's cool. How long was it actually dark? Quote. Do you know?
And
it wasn't a total eclipse.
No, it was a annular or something. So it won't happen again for another 20 years.
Really?
2046.
Oh.
Is the next annular eclipse. Next year we have a total eclipse.
And that I think.
But we're not gonna see it at all.
Really?
West Coast isn't gonna see it at all.
See, it's different on each coast. So I think I saw April is the next total eclipse.
I feel like it's April. Yeah. I forget when it is.
I've been doing all this research.
I remember it was like it was a cool date.
A cool date? Oh. Our date?
I think it's around there.
Our date is 4/27.
Yeah.
April 27th is when we first got together. After all those years after I obsessed over you in high school and middle school and you didn't know my name. All right. Who's going first?
You can go first.
Okay. My highlight is we're a book podcast now.
Yep.
So forget sailing. All we do is read. No. So if anyone doesn't know of the new series, Fourth Wing, is that what actually it's called? No, it's called the Imperium.
The Empyrean saga or series or something like that.
So the first book came out in May of this year. I think it's by Rebecca Yarros.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Rebecca Yarros. Highly 10,000 times recommend Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. She's amazing. Such a good book. It's longer, but it's getting great reviews. It was was on the New York Times bestseller list.
Like #1 on the bestseller list for like a couple weeks.
I thought you said it was like 20 weeks.
Something like that.
Insane amount of weeks. So
it's been like top of the Amazon like Kindle charts, and it's like one of the most trending books.
It was just so good. I read it twice. Are you gonna read it again?
I might.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
And the second book is coming out November 7th. So we are freaking ready. Iron Flame, that's what it's called. And we're obsessed. And I'm not going to give away my Halloween costume, but you can assume if you've read the book who it is. Low light. Let's see. Oh, well, it's the very, very obvious over here. This is the downfalls of still living under an actual roof.
Okay, everybody, we have a brand new sponsor. So excited. Naked Wines. I know them very well. We know them very well. I remember the first time when I was living with my mom still, we got our first box of all the different wines that we picked. And we became the house with all of the wine. We think we had a subscription for a while, and we would have like all of these like little gatherings, you know, like family, friends. We just know we got the wine. It's covered. Just bring the cheese. Like that. We were the place, all gathered in our little kitchen. So with our link, if you use our link, you're going to get $100 voucher. Hell yeah. $100 for your first box. Like, come on, that give me that. With our link, that's what you get. So go for it, guys. Enjoy. You can take a quiz, and it was really cool. I took the quiz, and it matched me with like all of these different wines. Some, like a lot of them I've honestly never even heard of. Like, we love wine over here, Dustin and I, but I've never really heard of a lot of these. There's chocolate wine. Did you know there's chocolate wine? Go for it. All right, use our link and you'll get that voucher. Have fun.
What was it? 2 weeks ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Dustin noticed that there was a leak in the office closet. He heard water dripping, and we had water in there coming from the ceiling, attic, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So then we call our landlord. She comes over. Okay, find out that we need a whole new roof. So that has been going on this last week.
They only bet this was day.
Well, this was technically day 3, but they brought all the crap.
Oh yeah, all their crap's been here for
like
the last
Monday.
week.
Yeah. Like
I think it was before last weekend.
Really?
All their stuff was here. It was like Thursday or Friday they came and like dropped everything off.
Oh.
And then it rained.
for like 3
for
days.
like 3-4 days. So no work got done. And then I think they're finally done. From what I could tell.
Yeah. They got here at like 8 o'clock this morning, and we're only here for like
4 hours, 5 hours, something like that.
But the last couple days, it was like all day, and I was going crazy, and we kept deciding, should we just go to the boat? Should we not? We don't know if they're going to come back the next day. Like, is it worth risking, like, all that trouble?
And the thing is, too, we had no notice. No one had no notice. Like, our landlady didn't even get any sort of notice that, like, they were showing up. So they just showed up one day, and we're like, oh, okay, hello. And
Which
then
might be really typical.
We had no notice of when they were coming back. We didn't know how many days it was going to be. Which maybe it's because it's not us paying for it and we weren't informed. And maybe she was, I don't know. Normally it's not typical. They'll normally give you a heads up.
Like a window?
Normally they give you I feel like it's normally like a 24 or 48 hour window.
That's a big window.
But still, it's like a hey. But a lot of times with like exterior stuff, you don't really need to be there, right?
we
For them to
need to
do
be
it.
there. It's just
It's just a common courtesy to be like, hey, we're gonna show up tomorrow, or hey, looks like weather's gonna be good. We're gonna show up Friday, and it'll take us so many days to get done. Not just show up and start working, and then when are you gonna be done?
basically, I felt like Tom Hanks in the Money Pit, which I ended up watching a couple nights ago. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Hurry before it goes away because it's a must. It's a classic. They show up one day, all the workers, and it's just chaos. They're just like gutting the house, and that's what it felt like. I got woken up at like 8:30. I know for you people who are like, you're such a fucking whatever. Like 8:30 is nothing. Well, guess what? But they just show up. We had no warning. Like, the truck is so loud, and all of a sudden I hear people on the roof. I was like, what's happening?
Being evaded.
Yeah, literally. So, yeah, that's been not fun. But
I would say they did a pretty good job. They got it done in pretty much 2.5 days. That's pretty fast.
animals.
For the size roof that it is, it's like almost 2,000 square feet. So, and they had to do a complete gut, so they had to rip everything off and put all new plywood sheeting and shingles and all that kind of stuff back on. So, it looks done. I think it's just cleanup.
And then our landlady, I heard her yelling at the workers because I think their kids were out front, and she was like, I'm gonna call the cops. Like, oh, you're insane.
Goes for the jugular every time. Like, what are the cops gonna do? They'll look like you're crazy. Like, what? Okay.
She's nuts. She made them park out back. She didn't let them listen to music, so then the workers were singing.
That was hilarious. And like you could tell, like I don't know if it was like when she was outside, because like they would stop, and then like she must have came outside, and like the one guy was like, you could tell he was like trying to project.
She was a psycho. I'm sorry. Oh man, your turn.
You took my low light, man.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't take your highlight either.
I would say my highlight is we haven't really.
We went to the Harvest Festival.
We did go to the Harvest Festival. I would say that was a highlight. That was fun.
Yeah, we got tipsy. We got food.
Listen to good music.
Yeah, they were really good.
They were.
It's really amazing. Every band that we've heard.
I don't think I've heard a crap one.
Yeah, they're really good out here. They know what they're doing.
Don't know if it's a West Coast thing.
I mean, all the talent comes here.
It's true. It does.
Not all. New York City is great, but we really have not heard a bad band in all the little festivals we've been going to. Like, way better than anything I've ever heard in New York.
Oh, yeah. Like, all the cover bands in Rochester are just like, ugh.
You could just tell they're cover bands. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's something different about these over here. Surprising.
Maybe they just put more pride into it or something. And
yeah.
Maybe it's more encouraged because it is kind of like it's kind of like that West Coast vibe, you know, that hippie musician kind of artsy fartsy stuff is all kind of, it's more encouraged.
And can you tell with all the bands that we've seen, are they younger, older?
They're all older.
They're all older? Really?
Yeah.
They don't sound it.
No. Like, I think was it Dial Up, which was the second band? They were probably in their 40s, 50s.
Wow.
Maybe even 60s.
Huh.
Yeah, they weren't young kids that didn't know anything. It was older guys, so.
I guess the main difference I feel like is bands that we've heard, like where we grew up in Rochester, they all sounded old.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
They've just been doing this, and it's some of them had been around like for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one band that? Oh gosh.
There's a couple that have been around for a while.
They I can't think of it, but they do a lot of the 80s and stuff. My mom likes them. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of the name.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they did pretty good, and it's not like the nice thing too is it's not like they just play country. Like they're not all country whatever bands. It's one was rock, one was like 90s and 2000s like pop and like alt rock music.
Mm-hmm.
The last one was art. We didn't stay long enough to hear them.
R&B.
The R&B, which is fine. It's not my biggest genre. So.
Lovely.
I don't know. I guess my low would be it's just been kind of blah. It's cooling down and it's starting to rain more and just I don't know. Days are getting shorter.
What are we gonna do with you? You're not gonna do well in the winter. I don't remember you getting so affected by the winter like this. And it isn't even the winter yet.
I don't know. Maybe because it was different because I was still going outside for work. Like still going into an office and
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a work from home kind of seasonal depression.
Maybe we'll have to get you the sad light and put that on your sad light. Get rid of that other light you don't use ever.
Yeah.
What is that in the shape of?
The bell?
Yeah.
The ship's bell?
Oh, ship's bell. Oh.
I was thinking about taking it apart.
What?
And like pulling the wiring out of it and maybe putting it in the boat somewhere. Like
where the light is in the kitchen galley?
It's just not a 12-volt outlet though. It's the only thing.
Well, speaking of boat, what did you just buy to keep the humidity down?
Oh, I bought this. It's not little. It's it's this air dryer. It's called, and it does what it says. It's supposed to dry the air. So, it's what a lot of people use out here. It's just to help it's got like a little.
So explain what it looks like too, because I would never have guessed.
It looks like, I would say,
a frisbee.
kind of.
It's like a big fat frisbee.
Yeah, but it's got the bottom of it is kind of like raised up. So it's got these like tiny little like feet. I guess they're not really feet, but so and it's got a little fan and a little like 130 watt little like heating element in it, and it basically pulls the cold damp air through it, heats it, and basically in that way dries it. It's supposed to help with humidity. It's supposed to help kind of maintain a little bit of temperature. It's designed to run 24 hours a day. It doesn't get, I mean, it's a little warm to the touch, but it's not going to like burn you. Like if something falls on it, it's not going to whatever. And it also has a shut off for like, if for some reason it's like a cushion slides or something slides and it like blocks airflow, it will actually shut off, so it doesn't like overheat.
So how does it actually work? It takes the air
It basically sucks the air through it.
and it puts heat out. I don't.
It basically sucks the cold, damp air through, and it basically brings it through the heating element,
Huh.
which then dries the air, which then heats the air, which then gets rid of all the moisture, which then dries the air. So the air will it heats it, but it more of gets warmer because it pulls all the moisture out.
Huh. And we left our little dehumidifier on to test how good it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got those little. Did you get the little? What were they?
I didn't leave them on the boat, but they're just like a name brand, damp rid or whatever. So it's the same kind of thing, except it doesn't use electricity. It's just got these little like pellets in it that basically will supposed to like attract the damp air or something, because like cold and damp air sinks. So you put them in spots that are going to be more like damp than other spots, and it's supposed to just suck all the moisture up.
Huh.
So they last like I think 6 months or 2 months, 3 months are supposed to last.
Oh, wow. What do they like disintegrate? Like what happens to them?
I think it just hits like a moisture level, and then they just don't really work anymore. You can actually refill them, so you can buy like a big like thing of the bees and just pull them apart, and then you can like refill it.
Okay.
So we haven't brought those down yet, but it hasn't gotten to the point where it's super cold during the day.
I mean, it's gotten down to like 45 degrees in the boat.
It'll be interesting to see when we go back with having the air dryer on.
It's such a weird thing.
How low it gets at night.
We'll see.
Yeah. And if it works really good, it'll be a nice substitute for the heater to help with the heater.
Well, I have my little green tech. I don't know if you saved that article for that other thing we talked about, but I don't know if anyone has seen the video of the motorized walking bike. So it's pretty much just like a bike, but you're on a treadmill and you can go on the street and on the sidewalks and you can steer it. I'm sure they're super expensive. Like insane.
Just like those there's pedalless electric bikes now where they don't have any pedals.
What, like a scooter?
Kind of, but it's like a bike form. So it's not like a full like moped or whatever. It's still like a bike where like you just have like a normal bike seat, and instead of pedals you just have pegs, and it's just fully
How is that
electric
not a
driven.
moped?
Because I don't think it's big enough to be considered a moped. I think there are certain classifications that make it a moped or make it like a bike, and it's supposed to be super light and like all this stuff because you don't have any of the chain or any of the other pedal mechanics, right? It's just a frame with a battery and wheels and
Like an electric bike, but not a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And again, expensive.
Yeah.
And I think part of all that is due.
Hi, so you guys know what I'm probably about to say about clothes. Well, Happy Earth. I mean, how many times do I have to say it? I can't stop because it's so great. All organic cotton, no polyester. They do sustainable practices in their factories. All of their factories and they're all run on solar energy, which is just the future. We're in the future, guys. So with our code, Third Eye Sailing, you now get 20% off your order. Like I've talked about before, they have activewear, which looks so cute. I want to try all of it. And everything just looks so cozy and comfy. I want to just get a basket of it all. And I mean, you choose every order. You can choose a cause. You can plant 15 trees. You can avert 150 pounds of carbon emissions, or you can choose to pick up a pound of trash with each order. I mean, the causes. So I hope you guys give it a try. We really like them. Of course, they align perfectly with what we're trying to do with this show. And get cozy. Fall is here. We are ready for the harvest time, and they have a lot of sales too. So go for it. Have fun on us. 20% off Third Eye Sailing. Thank you, Happy Earth.
I don't know if it's just the cost of materials. You know why? I think it's because it's kind of a small market still. There's not really a lot of people, so prices are high because there's not as much competition.
What do you mean, not a lot of people?
There's not a lot of companies that are making electric bikes. So
that makes me think of something. This was not what I thought I'd be talking about, but here we are. So, oh gosh, where do I start? So there is this new technology coming out for the blind and visually impaired that it's pretty much like a pair of smart glasses that can, record. If you look at something and you save what you're looking at, whatever item, you can save like what it is, and then it'll tell you in your ear when you look at it. Okay, so saw that, cool, thousands of dollars, all right, fine. My discrepancy is that Meta is making pretty much the same thing. It could do the same thing.
But I mean, theirs are glasses too. Theirs aren't. So like the thing you're talking about, it's just like a little add-on that just like hooks to your glasses.
Again,
it's Meta, and I don't
my
want anything
biggest
to do with that.
frustration is that thing that I first mentioned that goes for like $4,000,
something insane.
And then the Meta glasses are like $300. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Why? The technology is there. And
totally.
This could be available to everyone and anyone that needs it, but yet there are these companies that are making these outrageously priced products. Like every facet of disability accessibility products, they're just all over expensive, and I don't understand why.
Capitalism. That's why.
But like, and then like, so just like an insight into our world here just a little bit. So like we have both used throughout different stages of our lives different Zoom products with like computers, phones, whatever. And so the most popular one is called Zoom Text. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. Probably not if you're not in the world. But that's like the biggest one, and you can like have ones that are linked with like a screen reader or whatever. But you can also have the beautiful little magnifier on Microsoft.
Yep.
That all you have to do is type in magnifier into the search bar, and like it just comes up. And you can adjust it. It gets really big, just like Zoom Text does. Maybe not as big, but like you can invert the colors. Like it has every same accessibility option pretty much that is important for you to be able to see the screen if that's what you need. But yet Zoom Text is charging, last time I knew, I think they were charging like $800. That could be wrong now, but that's what it costed. I think it was more when I first started using it.
That's insane.
It's
to me.
fucking
And
ridiculous.
like same with Jaws. Isn't Jaws like around $1,000 for like a lifetime
it used
license?
To be. But now that has gone way down.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, remember we looked, it was like $100 a year.
Oh, for their subscription, because that's what everyone's going to now.
Well, because now, like, okay, so like with ZoomText, you used to have to get like a CD-ROM to download it onto your computer, whatever. So old school.
Now you just download a file.
Yeah, it's all just like electronic files
on
now.
the website. Yeah.
So I think that's probably what's helping the price go down.
Yeah. Because they used to send you that whole freaking thing. I used to have one. Yeah.
The whole, like, package.
Like, yeah, the whole package. It's so funny.
It's just crazy how much it has developed since it's only been like
just
10
technology
years.
in general in the last 10, 20 years is just insane.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just kind of, you just made me think of the whole, like, $300 versus, like, $4,000 for the same fucking product, basically. Yeah. And it's just...
And part of it could be, it's probably their own special whatever software that they designed or whatever, and who knows how fast they can... I don't know. It's just insane to me how they think they can charge that much money for just...
Yeah.
Something that could help anybody with vision issues. Like,
yeah. I guess that was an irrational complaint. There we go. Any irrational complaints? What's been bothering you, Dustin?
Corporations suck.
Capitalism!
Just all of it. Just the whole greed money machine that is American businesses. And it's just, it boggles my mind. Boggles it.
And I know we're not the first. We won't be the last.
And it's something that I guess I never thought I would experience with IT, especially working for like the size company that I work for. But the amount of people that get let go is just, I have never heard of this kind of churn that our company has, and it just boggles my mind. Boggles it.
And then the same that are hired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same amount that are hired the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
That were just let go.
And it's just...
What sense does that make?
To me, it makes no logical sense. It makes no any sort of sense at all. Like, you're letting people go that have been with the company for years and do a good job and know what they're doing and know how to get things done, and you're hiring people for, a new division, and it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So, which that's part of the reason why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to work anymore.
Not for capitalistic
companies that
don't
think
care
they're
about
hot
you.
shit. And
people can yell at us and be like, well, that's just how the world works. Well, it's really not. Like, it's really not. We're the only...
It really doesn't need to be that way.
No.
And granted, we're not the only country that has like a more of a capitalist, but we're one of the worst, I would say. I mean, Europe is kind of its own different ball game. I mean, companies there are, I think they're a little capitalistic, but not like in the U.S. The U.S. is just after money. I mean, you look at countries like Germany that have like some of the best pro-worker labor laws like around. Like, they have, most German companies, you get 24 days guaranteed off a year. Most companies give 30. You have most companies, because it's by law, you get unlimited sick days. You get 14 holidays off a year. So like all their little freaking holidays that Germany does. Most companies are either 40 hours a week, or some companies are starting to move to 32-hour weeks, but you're still paid for 40 hours. Most companies in Germany, you work 40 hours. If you work over 40 hours at all, you get overtime pay. Or if it's something like a salary, right, where like my position is salary, right, so I get paid for 40 hours no matter what I work, technically, right? But the way a lot of the companies in Germany do it is, if let's say your salary, but let's say you're going to be working 50, 60 hours a week, you get that bonus pay like already. So, let's say you're going to be, let's say the job is you're working 60 hours a week every week. Like that's just the job for some reason. You'll get paid for those 60 hours, not just for 40.
Oh. Yeah.
But it's like upfront, like in your pay. Like not like an extra on call, not like an extra like bonus.
So then why don't they just call it like so basically in Germany, salary pay doesn't exist.
I mean, it's still salary, but if your job is making you work more, they're going to pay you more. They just can't pay you overtime because you're not hourly. Salary is usually exempt from overtime. Because overtime is time and a half. That's why.
Wow.
And they're just very, very, very pro worker. And most of the companies treat their employees pretty well. Same with a lot of Europe. Like a lot of their employers don't treat them like complete crap. And they usually get paid a little bit more retrospectively because they don't have to pay for health insurance.
Yeah, there's that topic. We won't get into that today.
That's a whole nother episode. About capitalist U.S. society. We could probably do a whole series on it, to be honest.
We differ from people. We enjoy talking about politics. Do you have an intention for the new moon / eclipse? Because the eclipse magnifies your new moon intention. I warned you.
You did.
And you didn't do a
me.
shit about it.
I did not.
Well, I mean, we already kind of said mine. I really am. I mean, it's so cliche, but, I'm just putting... This last month, I was trying, and will always probably be trying, to let go of the whole expectation as a human to always be self-improving. And, like, if I do a workout, then...
Did you know that only 9% of plastics have ever been recycled? That blows my mind. What have we been doing these last however many years since recycling came about? Only 9% of it. The rest of it ends up in landfills, oceans. Awful. Well, enter CBAR. So they are dedicated to cleaning up the ocean's trash. They pick up a pound of trash for every order that is made. That's insane. These people are so dedicated to this mission, and that is why we decided to apply for them as a sponsor, and we got it. We're so happy that they're going to be supporting the show. With our code, you get 15% off your first order. They are a company that makes shampoo and conditioner bars, and it's so cute. They come in this, they look like deodorant, and it's like a Destin's sister called it a push pop. So it's literally like a little deodorant, and you can get refills too. So when you run out, you just take that thing out and then you put a new one back in. They have really, really good smelling scents for their bars. When I use the shampoo, it feels like I'm just like getting a essential oil bath on my head. It's so great. And you just smell so refreshingly. And my hair really feels like so soft and just healthy since I've been using it. So with our code Third Eye Sailing, you get 15% off your first order. I hope you guys give it a try. We love this company and we love what they stand for. So on us, guys. Thanks, and thanks for listening. Thank you, C-Bar.
And I can sit and do a little meditating.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not how that works. The meditation shouldn't be the reward. I should just be able to do that and not feel guilty about doing that. Not feel guilty about just sitting with myself and just letting my mind go and do what it needs to do. I shouldn't have to do something quote quote good for my body that society deems is good for me. So letting go of that's that'll be just my whole life. I think that's if you know, you know. But so with that in mind, I've had kind of a hard time like thinking of intentions the last couple months, the last couple lunar cycles. What? That's what it is. A month ago, ever since I started doing this, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the months have been going by very quickly.
Yeah,
like
you blink and they're gone.
But like so much more, like once I know the schedule of like what the moon is doing, it really is like very, we've fucking said it, getting more one with Mother Nature. I feel like I've really done that in the last, like since the summer, since we actually had to start looking at that. It's amazing. I don't know. It's just like a whole different world that I wish I entered in earlier, but better late than never. But so yes, so this new moon with the eclipse, hoping it will bring more strength, harnessing that strength of the eclipse. Just putting all my good energy across the world to everyone who needs it. I'm only one person, but if we all do it together, we don't know what could happen. So that is I'm putting most of my energy to that, whatever that looks like. I'm still trying to figure that out. Along with a couple other little side things that I'm working on that I can't talk about yet. But your turn.
I think my intention kind of aligns with the last couple that I've had when we've done these, of just trying to not focus so much like on way down the road, right? Like, where do we want to be in 5 years? And where do we want to be in 10 years? And just trying to focus on more of the present and, things in the present that I can control more than, are we going to be living on the boat in 20 years? And what if we are? And where are we going to be? And, so just trying to magnify that.
I have noticed that you've been more like...
I've been trying to be more just kind of here.
Just like not like always talking about oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, maybe we can do this, and like it's still there because that's kind of how
that's just me. It's just my green and wanting to just.
You want to like tinker with everything.
And if I can't be on the boat tinkering, I'm just gonna talk about tinkering and.
And I saw this really cool thing that somebody did, and like, and yeah, but there is a difference. Like, it's definitely a difference that I've seen that it's like I feel like you're actually here with me versus how it was when we first got here. And when we first started, going to Bellingham, walking to the boat, and, we couldn't breathe because it was cold and we were walking 2 miles, but walking back and forth here, once it was here, I would just let you go, talk about all your future plans that you wanna make happen with the boat and where we could live and all this stuff. And it's like
She can't think about the next 20 minutes, let alone the next 10 years.
And I didn't think I used to be the opposite. I used to be a planner like that. But as soon as we decided to do this, living on the boat next year, which, we're hoping it will be this time or earlier next year. That's what the Port of Friday Harbor said.
Yep.
That we'll have our slip. I was thinking like 5-10 years down the road. And that makes me sick now. I don't...
She gets this glazed look in her eyes. She's just like, yeah.
Bye.
I'm just like, oh, I should probably stop talking now. I've hit my max for today.
And I love that you don't take offense to it, because it's not you. And I would listen to you. But would I retain it all?
Sometimes I don't retain it all, so,
You get a glazed look, too, when I talk about past lives and spirit guides, so...
Makes us even, I think.
Oh, God. When I talk about all my dreams that I have and all the crazy things that I figure out... We won't get into that today.
We had a very spiritual episode last week, so...
We did? I don't remember.
2 weeks ago. So it was, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Listen back. It was a good one.
Yeah. It was, I think it was like our second highest listen count.
Oh.
Not that 17 is a lot, but I mean, hey, for us,
Oh my God. Okay. So, and I do want to talk about too, I did all this research on solar eclipses and I was trying to find folklore on where are we at?
42.
42? Okay, 5 more minutes. All this folklore on solar eclipses, I was trying to find stuff with sailors and what they, and so much of it is so negative. It's all about war and just dragons are eating the sun and it's just kind of all, I don't like that it's all negative to dragons because we both have dragons in another world. But
Dragons are cool, okay?
Dragons are cool. But yeah, I did get drawn to one or a couple of theories actually about solar eclipses. So I think, yes, it's a lot in Greek mythology where the sun and the moon, one is the female, one's the man, and they're either fighting or they're making sure the world is okay. It's just kind of very interesting. I like to see those different theories. And then also North American Indian beliefs of solar eclipses was kind of one of the only positive ones of it's kind of like a reset. They're I can't remember how they put it. They're just taking a survey and just resetting everything, the sun and the moon for the earth, and making sure everything is okay. And look it up. It's pretty interesting. And I just found it funny because we're here. I mean, there's so many tribes here in
So many.
the North Pacific, and it's kind of like we were always meant to be right over here in this little corner of the country, whether that be a little farther down in the San Juans or right here. I mean, I don't think we were ever supposed to be in Seattle.
No.
It just doesn't feel right. But definitely up here, close to Canada, because we may need to flee there. I know Canadians hate us saying that, but please take us if we need to be over there with open arms, please. Yeah. There's a lot out there, and we're just putting our energy toward good things this solar eclipse, whether it's happened yet near you or not. Let me see. Anything else? Do you have anything else?
Got nothing.
Well, we are going to do, I think, the one more episode for this month on Halloween. No, weekend before Halloween.
The weekend before Halloween,
Yeah.
right? So
We're going to do that. And yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Go get some shampoo and conditioner from C-Bar. Order some wine.
From Naked Wines.
Get some Happy Earth apparel. Give a damn. That's their slogan. And
yep.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.